Hey yo YouTube, Spiderian here, and today I'm bringing you guys a commentary about something that's just been kind of in my head lately, and it's just something that I was like, you know what, I should probably make a commentary about this since it's just been beating around in my old noggin for so long. So, before we get into it, the gameplay that you're watching is some Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I got it when there was a free trial a little while ago. It's just some domination. I do pretty well. We win in the end. And I use various guns throughout the match, and that's essentially the gameplay for you. Just some good old Infinite Warfare. Although I think a lot of people would say that Infinite Warfare isn't good, but that ties a little bit into kind of the topic of the commentary for today, which is about divides, and not the math kind of dividing. I'm talking about more of the political kind of dividing. So as you probably already tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about political divides today. So, it is no secret that America is undergoing a major political divide. People are very, very, in a sense, mad at one another for having different political beliefs. Mainly because, as of the recording of this commentary, Donald Trump recently became the President of the United States. He went through the whole inauguration, peaceful transfer of power, yada yada yada, the whole ceremony. And now he is officially the President of the United States. He hasn't even been the President for a week yet. And there already have been over a dozen protests, among other things. And these protests, they're honestly beginning to get a little more violent. The people protesting are beginning to escalate their game in a sense. And those again, as of the recording of this commentary, there was also the Women's March a few days ago, and a lot of their protests and signs and whatnot were also very much in just saying stuff about how Donald Trump, he's not my president, he's a terrible person, he's horrible, you know, this and that. And it's very evident that people are feeling incredibly divided today by politics. Now, there's always been a little bit of a political divide in America. I'm not saying this is a new issue. I'm not saying this is some fancy new age thing that's, you know, it's all millennials' fault because they can't get along with one another, yada yada yada. It's nothing like that. America's always had a political divide between its two main parties, the Democrats and the Republicans. And when you look at it, generally younger people tend to be more Democratic, while older people tend to be more Republicans. So it's also kind of a clashing of ages. It's kind of a clashing of time. The younger people are like, well, what do these older people know? You know, they're old, they lived in a different world. And the older people are like, well, what do these youngins know? They're young and stupid, they haven't lived long enough to know anything. It's kind of like that, but not really. That's just a rough version of saying that essentially Republicans tend to be older while Democrats tend to be younger. And I'm not saying that's exclusive. I'm not saying it's exclusively only young people are Democrats and only old people are Republicans. There's dozens of people that are mixed in, you know, the many young Republicans, old Democrats. Like, there's a lot of people that have different political beliefs. However, America really seems to be taking this election hard. The Democrats are angry that Hillary Clinton did not win the election. They're angry that a man like Donald Trump is in office. And I'm not going to give my personal views on Donald Trump just for the sake of trying to stay unbiased here. But I kind of just had a feeling that really, no matter who won this election, there were going to be protests because so many people just got really behind Hillary and so many people just got really behind Trump. And basically, no matter what, something like this would have happened. And if you look in the media, if you look at like Fox News and whatnot, generally the more conservative media outlets, they will try to tell you that this issue is just because you know, young liberals are being, you know, dumb and immature, and this is just like one of the first elections that they've lost, and this and that. When in actuality, it's not just because the Democrats are throwing a hissy fit. It's not that at all, actually. Well, okay, maybe a little bit, but it's not you can't just say that this is a Democrat-only issue, that this is only an issue that that this is all the Democrats' fault. Because if you were to look back a few years ago to when Obama first got into office, Republicans did a very similar thing. Now, there weren't as many protests and riot-like protests, I would say, but there still were a lot, and many hateful remarks and just very hateful things were passed around when Obama first got into office. And it was conservatives. Conservatives were basically doing the same thing that liberals are doing now. They were protesting, they were protesting, they were marching, people were furious. Conservatives were furious when Obama first got into office. And people are now furious that Donald Trump got into office. Now I'm not gonna go too deep into the little things like either guy's characteristics or the qualities. I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just gonna kind of stick on the main issue here that I see, which is the fact that America is facing a huge political divide, and it is not good. I'm not saying that everyone should think the same. I'm not thinking that everyone should have the same beliefs, that everyone should have the same thoughts and actions, and no one should ever have a different opinion. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, different opinions, different thoughts, different beliefs are actually good for keeping diversity nice and strong and it helps keep people's minds open. However, this is not the right way to go about these kind of different ideals. Protesting, just rioting, hating. I mean, I can't even tell you how my social media feeds for like 3 days straight now has been basically nothing but hate, either towards the people protesting or the protesters, hating on Donald Trump supporters. I remember a while ago, like right as Trump won the election, I remember I saw this Facebook post by this young, nice girl, and I never would have expected this kind of post from her. But she basically said that she did not give a single shit about who you were or what your thoughts were. She said that if you voted for Donald Trump, no matter what, you were a racist, a homophobic, a xenophobe, just all this list of horrible things to be called. And she said she didn't care about what your opinion was. She did not care about what you thought, what your opinion was. If you voted for this man, no matter what your circumstance was, you were this list of horrible things. And that made me pretty mad, because I was like, well, you're not even gonna give anyone a chance to explain themselves first? Like, come on. Why? And it's an example of like that just kind of leads to my whole main point by that this is not a one-party issue. This is not an issue that it's only Democrats or it's only Republicans. Democrats, they're protesting right now because Donald Trump got in. Republicans, they protested when Obama got in. Essentially, it seems like today people just think, oh, if I just make a dozen signs that just say various hateful things that honestly probably don't even construe my full total beliefs, but because they're mean and offensive, they're gonna get noted, they're gonna get seen, it's gonna make an impact. And it's just kind of like, I don't feel like this is the right way to be going about the issues that we're having. This is not the right way to be dealing with this kind of political divide, in my personal opinion. I don't think that just rioting and protesting and just throwing up dozens of signs and just saying how this man is the worst thing to ever happen to America and how everyone who voted for him or everyone who voted for her is the worst and I don't care what your opinions are. See, that's the problem right there. We have to care about what each other's opinions are. Otherwise, we're never going to make any progress. America will just continue to go downhill, because I think that America already is great. We don't need to make America great again, because, yeah, America, it has its issues, but we're a pretty great country as is already. There's thousands, millions of wonderful, intelligent people that just feel so passionate about their views, about their beliefs. Yet, they seem to refuse to want to talk about it in a peaceful way. Because these protests, they're far from peaceful. they're escalating to a point beyond just, oh, it's just gonna be a peaceful protest. It's escalating, and we don't want it to escalate. And like, I'm not saying that if you have a different view than me, or you have a different view than someone else, that you should be silenced, that your voice shouldn't be heard, that you shouldn't have, your opinion shouldn't be noted. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying we need to find a better way to voice that opinion and work it out than just protests and riots and people getting furious and, you know, getting on their keyboards and typing up a dozen things about how people are the worst if they voted for Trump. Or people having signs about lynching Obama because he's black. Like, that's pretty fucked up. I'm just gonna say, that's really fucked up. I think what we need to do is we need to put aside our political differences, and we need to come together and work together to really make America great again, as Trump claims he's gonna do. Because no matter what, Trump, he may be the president, he may be the quote-unquote leader of the country right now, but he's not the leader of our lives. He's not the leader of your life or my life. He does not have that much power. So, the main point of this message is that we need to come together. We need to stop with this immature fighting between both sides just because we have different political beliefs. We need to come together and work things out. Otherwise, we're going nowhere. We're not going to get anything done. And things are only going to get worse. So that's just like my 2 cents on the issue. I just think that we just need to come together and just work things out peacefully. Because right now, things are far from peaceful. And they're just not going as well as they could. So that's just my 2 cents on this issue. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. If you did, leave a like. And comment down below about what you think about this issue and what you think are some solutions that we could hopefully come to. So, yeah, I guess that's the end of this commentary. So, bye. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you take what I said to heart. Alright, well, goodbye.